free?
What's up, everybody? This is our second Mahogany Circle podcast. I am co-host. Yes, actually, let's give it up for ourselves. Let's give it up for ourselves. I am the co-host, Marpeza Allen, and this is my co-host.
Ed, how are you?
Are you asking me how I am, or just in general how everyone is?
Anybody who wants to answer back.
Yes, absolutely. And also have a very, very special guest, Eve Evans. And we're going to be expanding on our conversation that we were having last week, addressing mindset. And instead of getting all into what we were talking about, we highly encourage you to go back to what is our first episode to begin with. And they'll say, we're on to a good start. We are on a really good start. And then we want to go kick it up a notch and add Eve to the mix. I'm so excited because this is going to be a great conversation. And just before we get started, here's a couple of things. I need to apologize.
For what?
Apologize. Yesterday, our first Mahogany Mother Circle on Zoom turned out to be a complete technical glitch. You texted me and said that there wasn't, the passcode was messing up. I couldn't even get into it. Then I told the team in the thread, hey, I can't get in. They were like, I can't either. Wait, I can. No, I can't. I was like, what is going on with Zoom? I thought it was me. And so I just put on the Instagram, which is where I would really love for our Mahogany Mother Circle moms to really just find out what's going on in real time on Instagram. That would be the best place. So that's what I posted, technical difficulties. And then I posted a really cool TikTok just to follow up, unfortunately, it's not working out. Sorry, we'll try this again in 2 weeks. And that was our first one.
I always say those are the $1 million conversations when technology just don't want you to be great, because you know how that goes. And yeah, it just doesn't want you to be great. And we know that things are going to happen when we have these $1 million conversations. So just put the virtual assistant on that task, delegate.
We've been talking about that. Even I've been talking about, all of us have. Mm-hmm. Me individually with the both of you, about it's time to get farther and farther away from working in the business and more so on it.
For sure.
So anyway, I'm glad that is cleared out the way. I'm so sorry, mamas, for that. And now I just want to get into the nitty-gritty of the combo.
Let's do it.
Time is of the essence.
So which part are we picking back up on? Because we talked about a whole lot last week. I know we said we were going to jump into what have we been told.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up saying that sometimes it's not mindset, but it's also trauma that we have to get through.
Good.
You said that we need to have mindset changes when it comes to finances, and I said nope, we need to change mindset and trauma first about personal and then deal with finances. So we talked about a lot. Mm-hmm. So where do we start?
Can I add something to that?
Yeah.
So there's this amazing book by a pastor down in Houston. Marpeza knows I rave about this because I try to read it once or twice a year. It's called Mental Toughness for Success. And this is just a phenomenal book. And one of the first things that the author discusses related to mindset, but just related into success mindedness in general, is the perception of one's version of themselves. How do they perceive themselves? Do they have low or high self-image? And that in and of itself sometimes could be created by trauma, but if someone just has a low self-esteem in general, that's also going to impact their ability to have a positive mindset about moving forward and being able to envision their future.
Mhm.
I'll just throw that into the mix.
That's heavy. So what happens if you don't have those tools at all? Like, are there gonna be some people who never like?
I mean, in all honesty, I thought about that the other day too, because it's just really one of those things of, and I have to equate this to the gospel. They say, the gospel has to be preached around the world, and, person to person, it's like, but what if? And I'm not saying that the gospel won't be preached, but even in something like this, it goes back to what we discussed last week, that we can't assume that everyone is taught, because they are on their own little island doing the same thing that they are taught to do. And if no one willingly goes into that territory to say, hey, there's a better way, things stay the same. And I would like to believe that if one puts out there to God, universe, and we say that to include everyone, that I want to learn better, or I need someone in my life, or whatever else, I think that would be delivered. And it just has to start itself of what you want to attract. And you can't, I would always say start anywhere. And some people might be like, oh, I can't be a millionaire because I only have $5 in my account. No, I've been professing to be a millionaire even when I've had negative $5 in my account. So it goes back to mindset and attracting and, sowing that seed. Let's just put it that way, of sowing the seed of faith and really putting it out there to say, hey, I believe that I can, have this person come into my life and, really attract that. But then at the same time, when you get down to the nitty gritty of mindset, and I posted it, I think yesterday, I said, one thought, one word can change can pretty much change your life. It's just a matter of if you're choosing the negative or the positive in that, because either way, it will change your life. And once you decide to have that positive mindset, regardless of what is around you, and that's why I tell people, you can't look at your situation to say that you're happy. You have to find joy and peace in anything and everything to be able to find what you're looking for, attract what you're looking for, and really be in that mindset of, okay, when I have this in place, I know that I can do this. And me, it's all about, what is your legacy plan as well? Make it plain. Write it down, make it plain so it can be carried out and keep it moving.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that also has so much to do with even exposure. It's easier today with so much online between YouTube and all of these different social media platforms. But I think part of it starts with exposure. Does somebody even know that something out there is possible, right? We always look to the examples and the shoulders that we stand on in terms of understanding that something is even possible for us. And then I think the next step is, with free things such as YouTube and other social media platforms, you can start to learn about a lot of this stuff for absolutely free. I mean, the amount of personal development videos and audios on YouTube, whole books on the topic, are free on YouTube. They get taken down occasionally and somebody puts them back up. So there's so many different options to just start to eat new mental information that will start to feed the faith and lead to that more winning, hopeful mindset for people. And then #therapy, there's tools.
But even with the free tools, and I'd have to throw this out there because this is what grind my gears. You can have the whole internet.
Yeah.
You can have the whole internet in front of you, and people, and let me just say this, especially, and I'll deal with it from a team's perspective, because I'm always really big on telling my team, look it up. Think about it, look it up. But then you have those people that want you to give them the answer every single time. And it's like, did you look it up? If I was on a 3-month cruise, would you wait till I have gotten back from my 3-month cruise to say that you cannot find this? But did you look it up? And if the answer is no, then you didn't take the initiative to look it up. And don't get me wrong, I firmly believe in asking questions, but I think there's at some point, and especially me as a leader, I have to watch my tone, the way that I move when I start seeing the repetitiveness of the crutch, the pacifying, and all this other stuff of asking questions instead of you taking the initiative to look it up. And if it's something that you didn't take initiative to look up, who are you going to blame? That goes for business, personal life, and everything else. And I say, we spend how many hours on the toilet? We broke it down last week. If you spend X amount of hours on the toilet looking at everybody else's Instagram posts and all this other stuff, when you could have just Googled, how do I, or how do you, or like you could have learned how to make a cupcake in 30 minutes while you took a dump. So hopefully you wash your hands after you use the bathroom to go make the cupcakes, but you would at least know how to make a cupcake 30 minutes sitting on the toilet.
You said that the calculations made $7,000.
Yes.
Who made 7,000?
This dude calculated how much he made while doing business on the toilet and taking dumps. And I'm an avid advocate of making sure you're using your toilet time effectively, and he proved me right.
I'm done.
Oh.
I don't know where to go from here.
When she didn't know, she gave the whole calculation too. Whole calculation.
There's no sugarcoating, no bathroom time, toilet time. She said taking a dump. I can't.
Dump time. Okay. But actually, I thought about it this week.
You thought about like tracking your time?
No, I wasn't gonna do all that, but like feel like if I'm going to the bathroom, like maybe I should have a notebook, like that. But I was definitely not gonna start getting a log and calculating all the sales that I close and like looking over my numbers and no.
You know what though? You do make a good point, because sometimes if I wake up late, it cuts down on my reading time in the morning. And I really need to act like these, old G's who read in the bathroom.
Yeah,
I have to start doing that. I don't do it.
I have a poet book in the bathroom, but it's more so to like look pretty. I'm not expecting anyone to read it. They're for my feng shui.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So I want to say, I printed out your legacy planner.
How many pages was that one? I think like
41 pages.
Yeah, the extended version is going to be over 100 pages.
41 pages of deliciousness so far that I've looked at.
Well, thank you.
I don't have the other one, so you'll have to send that to me.
I haven't finished it yet.
Oh, bad. Though. Okay. I thought you sent it to me and then I didn't get it. So basically, Eve, to catch you up, actually, I'm segueing so that if you're going to have to repeat what it is you're doing right now.
Oh, okay.
And the potential partnerships that Eve could even be involved with.
Okay. Well, Eve needs to tell everyone what she does.
Yes. And
Hi.
then you can fill in the holes from there.
Okay. So I'm a realtor, real estate agent here in Denver, Colorado. I serve the whole metro area. And so what that really entails is a little bit more than people think. So many people think realtors jump around and look at houses and look pretty all day and makes money. But for me specifically, my lender tells me all the time that I understand financing far more than most agents. And so what that really means is I help people buy and sell homes, but a subset of that is I help people really understand their finances to either determine what they can afford, how much they'll make on the sale of a home, or if they can't currently afford a home, what things have to be in place in order to make them eligible for a home loan. So I love numbers, I love Excel, and I really love helping people. And so I truly act more as a real estate consultant in each of those areas, really understanding short and long-term goals, understanding someone's personal finances, and putting the pieces together to help them meet those goals.
She said she loves Excel. I have
Dude,
never.
I'm such a nerd.
That
I'm such a nerd. I have friends call, ask about Excel, and they're like, can you help? I'm like, come over. We'll do a one-on-one lesson. I'll record it, and then you can go back and watch it. I'm nuts. I'm obsessed. It's the best tool ever.
So could I do a module on Eve of how green circulation could be of assistance and support and help her scale?
Yes.
So, Eve, this is just one example. If you love spreadsheets and Excel,
Yeah,
you create a curriculum, an ebook document that you can sell, and then couple it with a digital product that is tied to video, whatever's different stages. Then if they want extra time with you, they would pay a consultation fee. And then you have more build out on your newsletter and you have more streams of income, but you're already doing what you're already doing.
so it's funny you should mention that. My dad is on my case about not doing some of the stuff I do for my clients for free. Because I'm really just trying to get to the sale, right? But it's interesting you mentioned that, because my dad is saying that I should do some of this stuff for an hourly fee. And then one of the things that's on my goal list for this year that you probably know, Marquesa, is to look at what are some ebook options. So we definitely need to continue that conversation.
We do.
For sure. I'm into it.
Join
Yeah.
Mafia Life.
Excuse me?
She's like, wait, what? You see how she was like, excuse me? What is that? That's the reaction that I want.
Evie, join Mafia Life.
What is Mafia Life?
So, Mafia Life is actually going to be a weekly empowerment encouragement call for everyone who wants to join. It is going to start actually this Saturday, and we are going to be in that space of building a community. So when we look at everything of what we're doing on the Greenwood Circulation side, and I'll segue into that, I'm telling you what Greenwood Circulation is. Greenwood Circulation is a Fortune 500 organization that helps BIPOC business owners, creatives, and also change makers, just really pretty much with life, business, and legacy. And we are a one-stop shop agency, from virtual specialists. I do not say virtual assistants because we want to be inclusive of everything. And again, mindset, virtual assistant is like, oh, you're just a paper pusher. No, we're not. We specialize in a whole lot. So we do have a team on the virtual specialist side. I myself is a business consulting, a purpose coach, a business advisor, and my business partner, Ramal, he handles a lot of stuff out of Tulsa. So we are in two different states. I'm in Georgia and he's in Oklahoma. But primarily, the whole reason why we started Mafia Life was going to, or is going to be, an extension of a Bible study that we had every Tuesday. We're now moving it to Saturdays with guest speakers, a lot more curriculum. I actually looked up at least 4 books by John C. Maxwell that I'm going to download and offer as a free download to everyone in the group. pretty much being in that space of helping you elevate mindset, grow spiritually, and also help you effectively plan your legacy. And this is going to be a free community that anyone can join at any given moment. All the other paid stuff is going to be for the VIP clients that are going through our coaching programs and everything else. But the reason why we call it Mafia Life is because we look at our organization, Real Talk, as a mafia in a great way. Because in our culture, there is no org chart. Everybody sits at a round table. Everybody has a seat at the table. And regardless of what ranking you're in, you're always going to be a subject matter expert or the beast of what we say at what we're doing. And as I train and also transfer knowledge to every teammate that we have coming in, they would also be able to take those skills that they have learned and either effectively build their own business or continue to be an asset within our business. And every teammate is required to start their own business. We love the fact that everybody wants to be dedicated to GC all the time. That's great. But GC isn't going to be the only thing that is pouring into their legacy. So they have to start a business. And Mafia Life is also just that segue of getting to know people around the world and really being in that space of, hey, did you think about this? Or did you think about this? And even though we're talking about Nehemiah, Jonah, and everybody else, we're also going to talk about, mastery of self, or even Jumpstart to Your Growth by John C. Maxwell, or Think and Grow Rich. And, really meeting the spiritual and the practical all at the same time, because it's not just one thing. You have to mesh everything together. Even like when you said therapy, we are going to have a lot of sessions about therapy, self-care, and a whole lot of other stuff. So that is what Mafia Life is, including additional information of what GC is.
What's GC?
Greenwood Circulation.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, we say for short.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So there's a lot. I think that there is starting to be more of a trend of intrapreneurship that I'm starting to see. And especially amongst, especially amongst like young Black entrepreneurs, and especially amongst Black women, period, on period dot. So, but I know that all of us have also been in our personal lives, been open to relationships. And so I have also had individual conversations with each of you about conferences and the such that we need to go to get, to increase our network.
Network.
Our network. I know.
Network. I'm sorry.
You were at, and you were like, oh my God, I think he's your type.
Oh, yes.
Oh my God, you have to come next year.
Let's just be real. Like, I'm gonna put it out there. Everybody thinks that church is boring. And I'm going to say that depending on where you are, because I can tell you some spots here, I can tell you some spots in Tulsa, and not to say that we, just going to church for that one thing, but it is the benefit that when you are praising the Lord and you just see some deliciousness and you're like, oh, wow, like that can be potentially, but it still has to be worth it. Don't get it twisted. Because the outside shelling can just be the outside shelling. When you crack it, it may just be a whole lot of mold and everything else in the middle of it, which is sometimes okay. But then at the same time, if the mold ain't being fixed and if it's going to contaminate your life, it ain't worth it. So, yes.
Yeah. So you legit text me at this conference. And you didn't even send me a picture of him.
I mean, I didn't want to be creepy about that. Like,
Paige, you gotta get it how you live.
Like, oh, can you stop like right here? I can take a picture of you and send it to one of my friends in Colorado. Like, come on.
You know what? I have a friend who does that.
Really?
She's a little nuts. She will occasionally see a very good looking Black man. She is of a Caucasian nature. She will walk straight up to them and say, "Are you single? I have a friend who's absolutely gorgeous." And I think maybe she shares my picture, maybe she doesn't, I'm not sure, but she will go up to men and ask if they're single. With a follow-up, "Do you love Jesus?" She does this. Now, I've had to help refine her, like, just because he's Black doesn't help. I have some other requirements. Okay.
Like, here's your
Yeah.
checklist.
Right? Ask a few more questions. I'm of a certain age. I can no longer marry for potential. I digress. I have friends who do it. Let's empower each other to be each other's wing women. If you see something, say something, right?
Yeah, I don't see nothing a lot.
Oh my gosh.
Laura, what are you doing? I'm gonna have to get you a phone stand.
No, listen, I'm at my cousin's house, y'all. And I had to like work something out real quick because she's about to wax my face. So I
Like
think
your eyebrows or your whole face?
my eyebrows, make sure all of this is all clean. These like this right here is just my facial hair.
Because I'm visual. I just imagine her pulling your whole face off with wax. And I was like, hold up, like
That hurts me right now. No, so I'm here and I was like, okay, let me multitask. Cousin, I gotta go upstairs real quick. As soon as I get here, I had to drop my mom off, all this other stuff. But because this is the second half of our time, what I really would like for us to do is talk about how people can plug in with you, like what you really have going on that you want to ask and directly, reach out to people who may be looking at this and, looking for you. So Eve, do you feel like I'm putting you on the spot if we do you first because you're our guest? Do you find that
it's fine. I don't mind.
Okay,
So
cool.
maybe just reiterate a little bit. You just said so much. So just reiterate what you want me to share, how people can connect with me.
How can they connect with you? What do you need?
Yeah. So people can connect with me via email, phone, text. I had an interesting text yesterday. That's besides the point. I'm not going to go there. But my email address is eve@therealevevans.com. That's also my YouTube channel, The Real Eve Evans. And really, I am looking for people that are thinking about buying, thinking about selling. And truly, even if you don't think that you're in a position to buy a home, but it's a goal of yours, let's connect, let's meet. You can find, if you search Eve Evans Realtor on Reach 150, which is a great website that has a lot of my client testimonials, but you'll see there a story about a couple who really thought homeownership was out of range for them. They were living in a 2-bedroom apartment with 2 teenage boys, big boys. These are not small children, 2 cats, and they just felt like they didn't have enough space to spread out when the boys are there to have any room, to have privacy, but they just didn't think they can afford it. And so part of what I offer is a complimentary consultation. So for buyers, that includes not only your goals, what are the physical needs in a home you need, but what are your financial goals? And then what is your financial ability? And I help somebody understand that based on where they're at. What's your income? What's your debt? Based on this information, this is what you potentially qualify for today. If you make these changes, here's how that could change and get better, get bigger. With them in particular, what I was able to do was not only identify their purchase power, but they kept saying they still didn't think it was possible. And so this particular couple, married couple, they kept finances separate. They didn't know about the other's finances. That's a topic for a whole other day. However, I made them sit down at the kitchen table and we reviewed each of their individual finances. And what I found out was that this couple, on top of groceries, was spending $1,500 a month eating out. I said, if you don't even have to just stop that. If you can just cut that in half, that's where we find the money for you to own a home. I did something similar with a young lady who didn't love the condo she was in. I didn't sell it to her. She bought before I got back into the business. But she said, Eve, I want you to sell my house. I can't afford it. And I said, you've only been there a year. You don't really have enough equity to sell. I will gladly sell it and make the commission, but you're going to break even. And that's not why you buy real estate. I did the same exercise with her. And once again, she was spending more eating out every month than she thought. And so I helped her find the money to stay in her home until she was in a positive equity position. And she's still there today. And now she has like over $100,000 in equity. She was getting ready to give it all up because she was stressed. And so this is part of what I do and why I call myself really a real estate consultant. I dig deeper to figure out and problem solve and help you get to your dream quicker. So that first couple I told you about, I was able to find them a 3-bedroom, a 3-bathroom, 2-car garage, townhome with a finished basement. And so the kids have their own rooms now. There's space in the basement for somebody to go and have quiet time. If somebody's in the living room, they can spread out. This couple loves to entertain, and now they have a home that actually does that. It's an open floor plan. So that's what I do. And so again, I'm looking for people that are thinking about purchasing, thinking about selling, and they just really want to understand what that looks like. I can help provide a more detailed picture of what it looks like for them and their goals and their finances.
So to clarify, you are working with people in Colorado, or are you going to work with people who are out of state that needs to see what their buying power is and all the financial stuff, but they would have to work with a realtor in their local city and state?
Thank you so much for that question. I am only licensed in Colorado. Unfortunately, we don't have a huge degree of reciprocity. You have to take separate classes for each state and take a separate exam for each state. So I exclusively work in Colorado currently, but perhaps, what I'll look about doing is offering at least the consultations to people out of state for a fee. We'll see. But right now I work in Colorado.
I'm going to say that she's going to be working out of the United States altogether, providing the consultation stuff that she can only do from Colorado in the comfort of her own home to anyone in any state, whether it's Excel sheets or ebooks or courses or whatever else.
Hey, thanks, Evie.
Once you realize, I'm a firm believer of there is always a way of making money, just taking what you have and duplicating it 10 times over without having to recreate the wheel.
Yeah, I dig it.
So on my end, let's see, what do I not have going on? Let's start with Greenwood Circulation. So Greenwood Circulation, we are hiring our team because we have a huge rollout coming up with New Life Training Center based out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. And that is going to entail of people living in Tulsa and also anywhere in the world. We are focused on hiring BIPOC teammates. We're not discriminating, but our core is to really want to build up that BIPOC community. So our priority for hiring is podcast editors, management of podcasts, audio engineers, because we are building out a full-fledged recording studio at New Life Training Center. We are finishing up the podcast suite at New Life Training Center. We are also going to be building out websites for all the podcast clients that we have coming in. We are going to be handling their social media. So if you have any skill sets in those areas, let me know. We have a hybrid situation. What I mean is that if you come in at the entry level and you only know a certain amount of skills, we would then transfer the knowledge for everything else that you do not know, so you can build up your skill set. So you will also be working with live clients. It's not textbook. Mar will know that I would throw a curveball at you and say, let me know, how did you figure it out? And I'll say yes or no, and we'll keep it moving. So that's on the hiring side. We do have Legacy Mafia membership opened up as of yesterday. So that is free. That is our free online community for anyone and everyone who wants to join. And that community is also going to have access to our library that we're building out, our on-demand classes that we're offering for free. Not everything is going to be offered for free because there are some classes that I am putting on the calendar, like how to start your podcast in 60 days or less, or how to properly market and brand yourself as a public figure. Those are going to be the paid courses. We are also rolling out Mafia Life, which is our weekly empowerment calls, which is starting this Saturday on the 14th. And we have some awesome speakers lined up. Mar is one of them. Evie, we're going to have you as a guest speaker. And we're going to have you talk about what it means of building life with finances and legacies and houses and all this other stuff. So definitely I'll reach out to you for that. What else? Goodness gracious. Just go to greenwoodinnovation.com. Like everything is there for the signups, for, you know, everything of what's happening. I am knee deep on a lot of stuff on the New Life Training Center side. So I've just been really cranking stuff out as much as I can. But the team is actually going to start jumping in on a lot of stuff more once we start rolling out all of these podcasts that we have coming in. On my side, personally, for Purpose Partners, I'm actually going to start coaching enrollment as of next week. So anyone who is looking to level up their life purpose and trying to just figure out what the next steps are, that would be available, and I would be able to have the information for that once we do our next episode.
Yes. Whew, we're going strong though in Mahogany Circle, so that's a good thing. That's we're almost there. Soon, it's just as soon as I get Mahogany Mother Circle together, we'll be full-fledged. So there's that.
Yeah.
Are transitioning really back into Zoom with Mahogany Mother Circle, and tell a friend, you know, a girlfriend that you want to get to know more, and, you know, figure out if it's a play date situation, and, you know, you're new to Colorado, you're looking for Black mothers to connect with because it's very difficult. You're looking for a Black doula, you're looking for a Black midwife. We are the plug. So we're connected with Sacred Seeds Birth Worker Collective, as well as a lot of other Black mother-centered organizations. Mm-hmm. So I would say, you know, if you're looking for a doula, if you're looking for anything around Black labor support, breastfeeding, postpartum. Oh my gosh, how did I forget this? This is the first time I'm announcing this to people, but I am the new facilitator of the Birthing Squad, which is with Patrice Hairston. And she is a Black therapist that specializes in mental health, perinatal mood disorders. This couldn't be any better for me. So they were, right? And there's 2 Black therapists. Then what we do is take intake calls, but I facilitate 2 mothers, like pretty much mother circles. But what I have to my disposal is like literal Black therapists to just pipeline through.
That's awesome.
Of learning like screen and all of that. So for now, those will also be on Zoom. That's why it's important for me to know how to do all this. So tell a friend and tell a friend. And then I think that's really it. I really wanted to keep this year simple. So all of the dates that you see on our Instagram or our Facebook or what have you, those are the dates that we have. That's what we're doing. So February 12th, however, is a special function that Donna and I are heading up. What else? So that's February 12th. Then we have the brunch, our first brunch at Mama Bird Wellness Spa, which will be super fun. That's in first part of April. I don't know. Anyway, what else, y'all? I just feel like there's something else. Yes, the baby contest. I mentioned it last week. I'm mentioning it again. We're going to start taking submissions for babies to be posted on our Instagram in February during Black History Month, because it's also Black Future Month. To now. So anyway, those are all the things. You can find us on Mahogany Circle on Instagram, Mahogany Mother Circle on Facebook, mahoganymothercircle.com. And we're also on TikTok, Mahogany Mother Circle. So, and Mahogany Mother Circle YouTube, which this is going to be on our YouTube. So I'm just really excited about this year. And to close out, we typically do grounding exercises in our Mahogany Mother Circle, but this is more so open and public and anybody can watch this. But my question to you each as we close out is, what is one word that is your theme for the year and why? Under 3 minutes.
I'm gonna have to think about that because I don't have one word. I have a statement.
Can you summarize this statement with one word?
Let me think about that. You can give her one word while I think about that.
Okay, this is not official, but it's what's on my mind today, which is hope. I think, especially as entrepreneurs or anybody working on a goal or a dream, we always have a plan, right? And then something along the lines gets all thrown off and it's hard to rebuild. This is about mindset, ironically. It's hard to rebuild that confidence and that hope that you're going to achieve what you're planning to achieve. So my word for this year is hope. The Lord just continues to deposit scriptures through Bible study every day on the topic to rebuild it. And so this is the year of hope. This is the year of getting back on the horse and doing the thing.
Okay.
I love that.
I'm gonna say my word is ruthless in a great way.
Love it. Very excited.
In a great way, because coming into these next 365 days, knowing how I feel about holidays of New Year's and everything else, this is a by any means necessary moment for me. And that means not pacifying anyone if they want to overstep my boundaries, not pacifying anyone who does not want to move forward in their own life, not pacifying anything that is not going to serve me any good, my circle any good, or my purpose and or legacy. And people may think that that is ruthless in a bad way, but in finding my voice and finding myself over these past 5 years since leaving corporate America, I have really gotten to that point where I am in. I remember when Mara asked me, what am I selling or what am I pushing? I said, what I'm pushing is I can give a rat's behind about anything that does not serve me any positivity or anything that is going to propel me to the next level. And that's why when I think about ruthless, it builds up that confidence, that boldness, that forwardness that people can gather in a positive way to push past their own comfort zones, to push past anything that may have been holding them back, whether it's the voices that we've been listening to, our 5-year-old self being told that you're not good enough or whatever else. Once you get that ruthless attitude of by any means necessary, nothing's going to stop you. And for me, that's also being ruthless in understanding why God made me the way that he did, the promises that he has for me, the things that I know that I can accomplish within his power, within his grace, within his forgiveness, within his mercy, knowing fully well that no one can send me to a heaven or hell. No one can be my God. No one can judge me because I really don't care what they say anymore. And that's why it's ruthless for me.
Y'all, Hope. Ruthless hope.
See, it goes together. Look at that. And both of our names starts with the letter E. How about that?
Amen. Paige, what's yours?
So I work with non-typical neurodivergent adults, and on New Year's, the Friday before New Year's Eve, or New Year's, we did a New Year's book. And this year, instead of me creating my typical vision board, I had created this affirmations box that my individuals, when they come in, they can put their hand in and read them. And they're so amazing. They'll be right on time for them. And I'll be like, look. And even some can't read, and I'll read it to them and they love it. So instead of me doing a vision board while they were doing their projects and me assisting, I did all affirmations, like as straight as possible. And Eve knows for a fact, I like super abstract, super, but right. It is so formal and laminated. And in the very center, it talks about like the value of my breath. So I breathe. And the reason I say breathe is that we're all exposed to people, and even we're exposing ourselves to stress. Stress is the number one killer. Like all of these other diseases, but stress is what's killing us.
Yeah.
So when we learn how to master breath, I have noticed in the last, when I really got serious about it, like focusing on breath in the last 2 years. And the reason that it came about is I just was really thinking about, as a doula, I was thinking about how we all especially have one thing in common in the first few seconds of us being born, that we made it, or we would have, make it or break it. We all have to learn how to breathe. That is the first thing we all had to do in order to be here. And so I don't want to forget that in my grounding and the things that I do and staying present, and especially being around individuals who do not have the same faculties and rights, even to give them, a sense of control. You do have a sense of control over your breath and learning how to cope. That and drink water. So anyway, I want to just go ahead and wrap up because I know it's later for you in Atlanta. And then I know that we all had long days, so I get it. And I just really appreciate the dialogue. I appreciate both of you as just my sisters, the sisterhood, and to start out this year with such vigor and, just like sheer honesty about where we are and where we believe God is leading us. So thank you so much. Till next week, we're going to keep it going. Thank you so much, Eve, for joining us. And
thank you for having me. It was an honor.
Fun.
Glad. And
the motto for Mahogany's Mother Circle for the next 365 should be breathe with ruthless hope.
That'd be dope.
Put that on a t-shirt and sell it.
Breathe with ruthless hope. I like that because we did a confidence poem last year, and it was really dope. People's IMs that were acronyms to confidence, and we put it all together. So it was very consistent in our poetic, So for
when are you doing the first Mahogany's Mother Circle conference? Like,
we need to talk because that's in the works.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to come out here real soon.
Oh, I'll be out there.
So anyway, this is like church. We could talk forever after, but we're gonna have to wrap this up. I'm about to go get my face done. right. I love you both. I'll talk to you later.
Have a good one, everyone. Bye.
Bye.